Joining us now, our good friend, big Trump supporter, also Mark Livingstone of Cornerstone First Financial. Mark, great to have you with us, man.
Hey, great to be here. How are you, my deplorable friend?
I am in the basket of the political. In fact, I might be the basket. Be the basket, as they say. Be the basket.
Deplorable 1 to deplorable 2. Do you copy?
Yes, deplorable 1 to deplorable 2. We're all deplorable here. And Mark Livingstone with us, Cornerstone First Financial. Hey, by the way, I tell my audience, Mark, all the time, I've had so many of my listeners call me up and thank me. They say, look, you got me hooked up with Mark. You know, I saved $200 a month, $150 a month, $180 a month. You know, some people say, I got turned down my bank. I went to Mark. He fixed me up. But here's the deal. You're doing a refi. You want to do a reverse mortgage. You want to get a mortgage. You know, you got your bankers. Go out and get your best deal. Then don't sign anything. Call Mark, and you're going to be shocked at what he can do, especially anything that has to do with the veterans. Right now, Janet Yellen, Mark, saying she's not going to raise rates. We've got the lowest rates ever. What's going on?
That's right. I mean, we're making history here. If you recall, John, last December, they raised interest rates for the first time in 7 years. And at that point, Janet Yellen made the announcement that in 2016, they were going to raise rates probably 4 times was the outlook. Well, yesterday it came down to yet another. Nope, they're not going to raise it. The rates remain unchanged since last December, which is great news to your listeners because interest rates at their all-time lows just 3-4 weeks ago went up a little bit because the market got squeamish thinking that the Fed may raise rates yesterday. Well, when they didn't, we now see relief again that rates are back to their all-time lows. And when I say all-time lows, we're talking on a 30-year fixed rate VA loan, it's 3.25%. And that 3.25% also allows us, Cornerstone First, to pay some of the closing costs. So right now, we are so busy. In fact, about 3 weeks ago, we went to the mattresses. Do you know what that means? If you can tell me that movie reference, I'll be very impressed.
The Godfather.
Yes, very good, John. All right, cool. Yeah, so we are so busy at Cornerstone First because these are the lowest the rates have ever been, the 3.25 on the VA, and we don't know how long it's going to last. Let's be honest. The election's coming up. Lord willing, Trump's going to win. Maybe Hillary will win. Whoever wins, the rates are going to go up, okay? The next Fed meeting is in December. They did leave some room on the table for a rate increase later this year in December. However, I don't know if that's going to happen. If you go on their track record, I would say it's not. But it's important to keep in mind, okay, that rates don't exactly follow the federal funds. They follow mortgage bond yields. And those bond yields loosely follow the 10-year Treasury. The 10-year Treasury, from its all-time low just a month ago, around 1.52, moved up last week to 1.77 amid fears that the Fed was going to raise rates. Well, now, yesterday, after they announced they weren't going to, the 10-year Treasury got to 1.66, and again this morning it's falling even more, so we're back to historical lows. So the takeaway for your listeners is that the rates are so wonderful right now, all-time low, that if you don't take advantage of them, you're going to miss this train of these low rates.
And the thing is, look, everybody knows these have to go up, and Yellen isn't going to do anything before the election because obviously we all know now that the government, every federal agency that we have is controlled by Barack Obama. He's politicized all of it. There's no way they're going to raise rates between now and November 8th. We all know that. So you got a short window here. But look, Mark, after that, regardless of who wins, I mean, what we have is not sustainable. You know these rates are going to go up. So how do you get this VA FHA 15-year 3.25? How do you get that, or the 2.75? How do you take advantage of that and lock it in? How do you do that?
Well, for your listeners, I mean, we have loan officers standing by right now in the office, okay? And I got to be honest with you, we're gaining some traction with your listeners. It was awesome. In June, we closed almost 5 loans just from John Fredericks listeners, and that's the most closed in 1 month. And so I pulled some numbers off Zillow this morning, John, and in your listener area, okay, in Roanoke, This year, home values are up 0.4, year over year from last year, 2015. However, when we go up to Hampton Roads, home values up 4%. Norfolk up 4.5%. And Richmond, get this, Richmond home values are up 14.2% over 2015. Those are the home values. So what that means to your listeners is that if they tried to refinance before to eliminate PMI, to take cash out, or whatever, and they were turned down because there wasn't enough equity in the home, call one of our loan officers to see if there's enough equity today so that you can do something that you couldn't. And like you just said, that window is going to close up the opportunity for the extremely low interest rates.
You know, that makes a lot of sense, because if the value of your home has gone up a little bit, that's going to increase your equity position, right? And so
absolutely, yes, and it gives you more options.
The whole model changes. Now, what about veterans loans and what's available? The other day you were talking to me about the opportunity for a veteran to cash out at 100%. How do you do that?
Well, a lot of banks don't offer the 100% program. And so Cornerstone is both a broker and a lender. So we have our own money that we can lend, and then we also have about 21 different lenders that we can go to if we don't have a product that we can offer the consumer. I have searched and found different lenders that do out-of-the-box programs, and one of these is 100% cash out for the veteran. We just closed a loan at Hampton Roads, and it allowed a veteran to go to 100% of the value of his home. His home came in at $140,000. He owed $110,000, so he was able to cash out $30,000 to pay off a car loan and credit cards. He was partially disabled, so there was no VA funding fee, and he literally is saving $637 a month by going to the 100% of the value of his home and taking that cash to pay off other debt. Listen, interest on credit cards is not tax deductible. Interest on car loans is not tax deductible. But when you wrap all this into your mortgage, it is tax deductible.
I tell you what, you got to take advantage of this right now. And right now, Mark Livingstone has loan officers standing by, 866-625-1221, 866-625-1221, or you can go to cornerstonefirst.com, cornerstonefirst.com. We're with Mark Livingstone of cornerstonefirst.com, founding sponsor of the John Fredericks Show, been with me since I started, been very loyal to me, and we appreciate that. Wouldn't be here without him. Your rate negotiation, Mark, I mean, you do it better than anybody. Explain that.
Absolutely. And I like to say that even if you're working with another mortgage company, use us as a sounding board to make sure the terms, the rate, the closing costs are all to your benefit. We don't mind doing that, but I'll tell you that a lot of times we find that these other lenders don't have the benefits, savings, and solutions that we do, and ask that lender if they have a rate renegotiation policy. What that means is that if the rates drop while your loan is being processed, will that other lender decrease the rate to that day's market? If they don't, then you need to call us right away, because that's something that we offer for free. There's no cost in that. If we lock you in, you're guaranteed to that rate. It's not going to go up. However, if rates come down, there's no floor. As far as the rates come down, we will get you that lower rate. So, John, most of our callers from your show are either veterans or they're doing reverse mortgages. The 5 loans we closed in July from the John Fredericks Show, 3 were VA loans, 2 were reversed. And we can rate renegotiate those loans, and if the rates come down, boom, they're in the lower rate.
Mark, one of the things that you do is, look, we've had a recession. Some people get a little ding on their credit. You're able to do loans that local banks don't touch. They turn it down. So you go to your bank, you get turned down, you're all depressed. They can call you up, and if you've got a minimum credit score of 580, then you'll be able to work with them, right?
Absolutely. But if their credit score is that low, we want to find out what's wrong with it. And in many cases, we can help the consumer to get their credit score up, to get it to a level where they can get a better interest rate. Because a lot of times the rates are predicated on what the credit score is. So if time is not of the essence and they can wait 30, 60 days and I can help them to get their credit score up to a level that would benefit them with a lower interest rate, then we can work on that. If not, yes, we can go to a 580 credit score, John, and any bank that you walk into is going to limit you to 640 credit score. So if you have a 640 or below a 640, you're not going to be able to do anything with them. So we have some great relationships at Cornerstone First where my teller friends and my bank friends at PNC and Capital One, they'll call me and go, hey, Mark, I got this customer that came in. They have a 620 credit score. They want a VA loan. I'm like, boom, done. We can take it. We can go down to a 580 credit score on both FHA and VA, and I dare somebody to try and find anyone else that will do that.
Well, there's nobody else except Mark Livingstone. Mark, I got a text here from one of my listeners, our listeners, Francisco in Portsmouth. His question is, can you ask Mark if a homeowner that's only 1 year into his loan can qualify?
Absolutely. There's no time limit. So prepayment penalties are a thing of the past. So therefore, no lender can legally charge a prepayment penalty to pay off a loan early. But yeah, we had people that were just refinancing 6 months ago because rates fell so low this summer that we were refinancing people that just took out their loan in March. And now with rates back down to those levels, absolutely. It behooves you to call and see if there is something that we can do. And, you know, in some cases, John, we're just like, hey, I applaud your efforts to try and get a better rate, but where you are, with closing costs, it doesn't make sense to do anything. And that's what I feel sets Cornerstone First Financial apart from other banks that will try and sell you anything to get you in their portfolio.
Well, I think that's the big difference. And so for Francisco, give Mark a call right now as people are standing by. Francisco, 866-625.
Like, but they're better off calling Raul or Glenn.
I know that. I'm not going to be able to do anything for your mortgage. 866-625-1221. All I can do, if you call me, is I can send you a Trump bumper sticker. I can't get your mortgage. 866-625-1221. Mark Livingstone standing by. 866-625-11. Or if you want to do online, go to cornerstonefirst.com. That's cornerstonefirst.com. And now I understand, Mark, that our relationship is expanding, and I appreciate that. And I also understand you're hiring loan officers, Southern Virginia. Tell us.
That's
Speak
right.
to me. Talk to me. Talk to me, baby.
That's right. We are here to help the economy grow, especially the economy down in the Southern Virginia area. And by that, we would love to have any loan officers that have experience that want to help us with the wonderful John Fredericks listeners that are continuing to call. And those numbers are picking up each month. So if there's any loan officers out there that have experience, email me directly at mark@cornerstonefirst.com. And we can, you don't have to come in the office, obviously. And we have a book of business that will help with your leads. And, again, experienced loan officers, please apply. We need you. Healthy things grow. In fact, if you're not growing, what are you doing?
You're dying.
You're dying.
You're dying. Right?
Right.
And I got two things right. If you're not growing, you're dying. And hit the mattresses from The Godfather. So today I'm on a roll, Mark.
Now let me ask you this: are you going to get this right? Are we going to the inaugural ball together on January 20th?
Yes, the Fräulein has got you and your Ann a ticket. You'll get 2 tickets. We're going to go to the inaugural. Now I'm not going to be able to stay at the Trump Hotel in Washington D.C. That's like $7,000 a day or something. So during the inauguration, I'm just kidding, but it's
I've
a
got
little.
some room here in my pad.
We'll have to stay with you and Ann there, but definitely you guys are going to be there, and I'm going to also, Ann and I will be with yourself and your Ann at the Trump Washington Hotel grand opening. I got that worked out, so we look forward to that. I want to thank Mark Livingstone for being with us, a founding sponsor of the John Fredericks Show. Great guy. Look, if you're looking for a refi, mortgage, reverse mortgage, take advantage of all the VA benefits out there. 866-625-1221. 866-625-1221, or just go to cornerstonefirst.com. Thanks, man.